YouTube, it's Erin, and I am the handbag housewife, and I'm back again to do another video. Today's video is going to encompass a couple of things, but the primary goal is to make the magnet on my Coach Badge Field Tote 22 in the ivory color block pattern a little bit stronger. I already tried this once and it was a fail. And so I figured I would order a stronger magnet and see if I couldn't do a bit better. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses on, and I'm going to put my gloves on, and I'm going to open up this magnet that I ordered from Amazon. A precautionary warning, when I ordered this magnet, there were safety advisories in the description. It said if you wear a pacemaker, don't use this magnet. And so I would assume if you have had an MRI before and you were okay doing that, you are probably okay handling one of these magnets. When you do get an MRI, they make you take anything off that could be magnetic, and they also ask you a series of questionnaires to find out if you have anything that could be pulled by the magnet from within you. And the answer to all those questions for me has been no. So I think I'm okay, except for whatever it is that this magnet and the strength that it has might do to my fingers. It did say that you need to be careful of your fingers when handling the magnet and you should wear gloves. So I've got some gloves. The other thing that I did was I removed everything from the bag. I'm actually using a different purse right now. I was worried last time that I might demagnetize my credit cards, which I didn't do luckily, but the strength of this magnet may be strong enough that it would do that. So I don't have any credit cards. I'm going to keep this away from my phone as well. I'm not going to hold it in my hand and then get close to my phone, which I'm filming on. By the way, this is a new phone. It's an iPhone 13 Pro. I had an iPhone 11 Pro before, and that phone, it was a good phone, but I feel like the camera on this is a lot better. I think it brings a lot more light into the picture, and at least when I watch my videos back on YouTube, I think that the picture is crisper. I don't know if you all have noticed that. If you haven't, let me know. If you have, if you think it looks better, let me know that too. So the magnet comes packed like this. Ooh, and here it is. So it's actually, I think it's a little smaller than my other one. Another word of warning on these magnets. These, if you get them close to one another, they will actually draw together so fast that they will shatter. I'm wondering, yeah, look, this magnet is in the box. I wondered if this would be strong enough. It just jumped towards it. So the reason why they think you should wear like safety glasses is because if these hit each other with any force, then they can splinter, and those splinters can go everywhere, including in your eyes. I'm gonna take a quick drink of my Diet Dr. Pepper. This portion of the video is not sponsored by Diet Dr. Pepper. It should be with the amount of Diet Dr. Pepper that I drink. Okay, so on my first video, I didn't know how to hold the magnet to determine north and south, but now I do. So I'm holding it so where the compass is touching the magnet. You see how it's pointing north. I'm going to flip it over. It should be pointing south, and from what I can see in the camera, yes, it is. So north is on this side, which is your left. South is on this side, which is your right. So I've got to remember that somehow. So what I need to do now is I need to test my bag and figure out which side is north and which side is south. And the best way I have found to do that is to hold the compass in between the two sides of the magnet. The one on the left is south, which is your right. Huh. Well, that's confusing. They're both south. That's not good. Well, that may be part of the problem. They seem to have been repolarized. So if they're both south, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect the north side to this side and see if I can go ahead and strengthen this side. And then I'm going to connect the south side to the other side and see if I can repolarize it somehow. Because the fact that they're both the same type of magnet, they're polarized the same way, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Maybe I should try just doing the north to the south on both sides. So when I try to tap the opposing side to this side, it does not want to go. It wants to go on the side that is opposite. So I told you both of these on the bag were south. They both want to go against the neodymium magnets north. I'm going to double check that one time more. I wonder if having the magnet in my hand might have caused me to have a problem. So south, north. Okay, now I have them correctly polarized. I don't know what I did, but this side here is south. This side there is south. And this side here is north. So again, I'm doing north to south, and then I'll go to the opposite side and do south to north. One thing I forgot to mention, I did say this in the last video, but this is a neodymium magnet. I may be pronouncing that wrong. And they're considered rare earth magnets. And they're supposed to help you remagnetize weak magnets and also do other things like remove security sensors in clothing, perhaps if you were a thief, like I mentioned in my last video, but more likely for those of you watching me, it would be for when you come home and you discover you still have a sensor on. Or one time I had Abercrombie & Fitch send me a wonderful teddy bear coat and it still had the sensor on it. And unfortunately, they had completely sold out of those by the time I received the item in the mail. They had no recourse for me. I didn't have a store nearby. And they just said I needed to send it back. And I said, I don't want to send it back. I love this coat. I don't want to send it back. And they said, sorry. And so I took my shipping package as well as my coat and the receipt to the mall. I went to every single store. I asked the people that took the security sensors off of the items at the store if theirs matched up with mine. And they kept saying, no, 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 no. And finally, somebody said, I used to work at the Buckle, and I'm pretty sure that that is the kind of sensor that they use there. And so I went to the Buckle, and sure enough, it was the same sensor, and they were able to remove it for me. So I got to keep my coat, which I had paid for, and I got the sensor off. But people say if you get magnets like this, you can actually remove the security sensors on your own. You can also use them to get, if you like say have a pan of nails, you want to separate them from something else. I don't know what the other thing would be, but someone said like if you had a nail in an oil pan that this would help get it out. And so I don't usually do that sort of thing, but I guess if I did, it would be a good option. Okay, so I've been messing with this for a little while and it's stronger. It's finding itself. It's not super strong. One thing people wondered about was if you get it too strong, you're going to damage the leather. But it is definitely, now I say that and I can't get it to go. But before I had to look at it to get it to snap. Now I don't have to look at it to get it to snap. It's just kind of finding itself a little better. The other thing I will tell you about this bag is that, first of all, if you don't want it to wrinkle right here, you can kind of stretch it the opposite way and you can get it to stay pretty well smooth. It's going to be all wrinkled on this side because I want it to remain closed. I feel like it looks much daintier on my hip if it's closed when I'm wearing it crossbody. To keep this bag closed, I am storing it on my shelf in the closed position. Then when I'm carrying it around, it stays closed. And the reason for that up until this point is that this bag was already curved in, so it didn't have as much pressure pulling against the magnet. And you can tell there, it doesn't take much to open it, but it definitely now will find itself better than it did 5 minutes ago. So I'm happy with this experiment. This isn't a revolutionary change, but it did help. And the key is you need to have a compass. You need to determine which side of your magnet is north and which side is south. And you can do that by touching the side of the compass to the side of the magnet. The magnet will point the direction towards the side. So that side is north and that side is south. And I'm going to put south down on the floor so I don't forget. And then within the bag, you do the same thing. So you can see that side is south. And then if I go over to this side, you can see that side is north. See? Since I set the magnet down with south facing down, you can see it just locks on there. Then if I go to the opposite side, which is south, it locks on there. So now I've somehow managed to repolarize the magnet. It was probably screwed up when I didn't look at the directions yesterday or the day before. I probably somehow repolarized it because I told you it seemed like it stuck no matter what I did. But if you get the appropriate side of the magnet sticking to the appropriate side of your magnet on the bag, that's how you're going to get the particles within the magnet on your bag to be repositioned in a way that they're going to do their job and grab on to the opposing side. And I'm already feeling that they're grabbing on more. They're grabbing on more just when I'm touching it. So there you go. Now I did tell you, I thought I wanted to tell you some other things during this video, and I do. I did some chain modification. My favorite chains at the moment are these by Yichain. They're great. The 42-inch option comes in two widths. It comes in this width here and this width here. They look almost identical. If you get the smaller of the 42-inch, the clip is smaller. Now this is what's important. This is the bigger clip on my Tory Burch Kiara in the beeswax color. This is the small size satchel. I had decided I was gonna just leave this on here because to get this clip off, it's a little bit challenging. I originally bought the smaller size in the 42-inch in all four colors after showing it to you and trying it on with the Pillow Tabby 18. The 42-inch length looks fabulous with that bag. And I'm going to link that video down below if you haven't seen it. But I went on and I ordered all four colors in this, the antique gold, the black, and the silver. And I discovered that 42-inch length, and you may have noticed in some of my try-on videos that 42-inch length just doesn't really work. It hit me at an awkward spot for the Longchamp Extra Small. It was awkward with the Pillow Tabby 26. So I decided I was going to shorten these chains. I hated to shorten the chains because I feel like I'm damaging the chain. So that sucks. It's not perfect anymore. But these chains cost me like, I can't remember, $16 or something, and here I have four of them that I'm not using, but they're hanging and taking up space on my shelf. And with this bag, which I love and is gorgeous, I don't like the strap that came with this, and I want to wear it shoulder. I discovered when I got it that the 28-inch chain that I had from Samorga was an excellent length. I wasn't able to find a good match on Amazon in 28 inches, but I found this option in the 25-inch, which when I got it turned out to be 26.5. Well, now I have modified this chain to be not 42 inches, but now it is just a hair short of 28 inches. I think it's like 27.5. And the way I did it, and this is all the damage that I created. You can see it right there. There's a little bit of fading right there on this seam. Now this chain, every single link is welded shut except for this one that I broke open. I tried to use pliers on this. I could not with my strength open it up. And I also could not with my strength, I couldn't close it either. So what I did, I used these ancient bolt cutters and I cut the piece off that I wanted so that I could separate this 12 or 13-inch segment from this. And then what I had to do is I took the bolt cutter and I cut off the link on the end that had one of these clips. So then I had a piece that had everything but the clip. And what I needed to do at that point was to open up And I can't even find where I worked on it because it does hide itself really well. Let's see, which end was it? This one. So I found the seam, and the best way to do it is you get some, these are like jewelry wire cutters, and they may not be super effective anymore because, I mean, I might have damaged them in the process, but it worked great for all 4 chains. I took it and I went to the side of the seam by just a little bit, and I popped out a chunk. And the chunk was probably like 2 millimeters wide. It was just wide enough that I could take this piece, which I had cut off the other end, and slide it in. Then what I did is I took a pair of pliers and I just crimped it back shut. I went like this to get it to be level as possible, and I went like this. In doing that, I created a little bit of some rough edges. Now, I'm not sure if I've told you this, but I do my own acrylic nails, or they're actually considered dip nails, but I apply them and then I sand them. And so I've got all these different nail files. These are a little bit worse for wear, so I figured I'm going to use them. The grit on this is pretty fine. The grit on this is real thick on one side and medium on the other. And then this is a buffer for shine. When I modified this link and I created this gap right here, I made the gap as small as possible by closing it with the pliers. But then any rough edges, I buffed it. I tried to do it at first with just the finest one, or this one, which is even finer, as possible. But there were a few edges that I created that were pretty rough, and I had to start out with the thicker, it's almost like a sandpaper. That's essentially what you use on acrylic or dip nails to smooth it out. And so I got it so where the edge is 100% smooth all the way around. And by doing that, you can see there's a little bit of color loss. There's a little bit of color loss there, right there on that seam. But honestly, I was able to shorten this chain with no damage other than that one little, I think I have a little scratch right there, but other than this one little spot right here, which I'm able to just slot into the groove so you can't even really see it. See, you can't see it from that side. From this side, you might be able to see it if you look at it like that. But now I have a chain that is the right length. And all I did was use bolt cutter, wire cutter, some pliers, and essentially sandpaper in varying thicknesses to get it smooth because I didn't want a rough edge on my bag. And now I solved a problem because I needed a smaller hook to get on and off of this bag. You see, it's still a great, it hits in a great spot. I might take a little bit more off this one. See, that's the 26.5-inch length. The reason I don't want to struggle with the clips with this bag is I don't want to chip up the hardware right there. So having a bag like this that has clips that are small enough that they can be taken on and off easily, I think it's just going to be better overall. So there's the 27.5-inch. So if it's up just slightly higher, I think it might be better. Like I said, it's super easy to take another inch off. Let's do it right now. So let's line this up. So how much do I need to take off? About an inch. That would be about 2 of these clips. And I've created spare ones because I have that leftover bit. So I'm going to take this clipper and I'm going to cut it on one side. And then I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it on the other side. Well, actually, I don't have to this time because I made a big enough spot that it just popped right off. Or actually it broke off. So now I've got this piece separate from this piece. Okay, let's see if I need to take another one off. Yes, I think I do. I'm going to take this one off of this. So see, all I did was just take those cutters and just cut it twice. And you can see on the inside, it's aluminum. I got more efficient doing this each time. So now they're almost the same length. I could probably, let's see. I think they're pretty much exactly the same length. So now what I have to do is I have to open this end link up enough that I can slide the clip back in. And I've got to find the seam. The seam is right there. I'm hoping it focuses for you. But I'm going to go to your right of the seam. I'm going to create a spot. I'm going to try to go parallel to the seam. And I have to push really hard with these to get it to work. I'm sure they're going to break one of these times and we'll have to go get another set. But see, look, that piece just popped out. The seam was welded shut, but now it's open. You see? Now it's open. Now the question is that wide enough for this? I think it is. It's perfect. This is the best time. This is the best one I've done yet because I've got pretty smooth edges. I've got this clip back on. And now what I do is I take my regular pliers and I'm going to try to crimp it shut as close as I can. So that's shut. I'm going to take them this direction and do it one more time and see if I can get those two sides lined up just a tiny bit better. You want to do as little crimping as possible because, or as little pushing with these pliers as possible because you do put little dents in the metal on the outside in the process of doing it. I really have almost a perfect finish there too. This is literally the best one I've done. I may have to go back and shorten all of them by just a little bit, but literally what I'm going to do now is when I run my finger over this, and look, you can see there's like hardly any damage. There's a little bit right there. Sorry, my nails. I'm needing to redo them. I just got the stuff in the mail. I use Kiara Sky, by the way, but there's just a little bit right here dented. And it's like nothing. I mean, it's so small that you're not even going to be able to notice it. But I'll use my nail buffer and I'll just use it to sort of knock off any loose edges. And if I use the buffer and I don't actually use the file that has more grit, that's better. You're better off starting with finer grit and then working your way up if you need to. Because you just want to make sure there are no rough edges to catch on your beautiful calf skin or lamb skin or whatever is on your bag. So I just have a little bit of roughness left on this side. I'm going to have to bring out the big gun, I think, for this little spot. Okay, that's about as good as it's going to get. So it's one link that I damaged, but again, that part there that's in the corner, that's all the damage I did. Is this one little piece right there where I opened up the seam. I know that it's not going to pop off because I can't open it with two pairs of pliers. I tried yesterday. So you can't see it at all really from that side. What you do then is you flip that down. So that part of it is actually sitting in the groove. So the part that I opened is right there, inside there. Let's pop it back on the Kiara. And I have to look to figure out which side it was that I did. It's funny. I ended up doing both sides, but you can't tell. Like I should have done it on this side since I'd already done that side. But I didn't. So there you go. Perfect length. This is the new strap for this bag. It comes on easy and comes off easy like that. You see? Now I don't have to struggle anymore. I don't have to keep this on the bag anymore. And all I did was, I should have only had one clip damaged, but I ended up being an idiot and rather than repairing it off the end that I had already worked on, I did the opposite end. So now I have one little link on both sides where the link is opened right there where it hooks on to the second link. So there you go, YouTube. That's how you modify a chain. This video has gotten really long. I'm going to edit it down, make it smaller. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on magnets and chain modification. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There's only 2 days left on the giveaway. Please go comment under the picture of the items on my community page. You need to make sure and say something that you like about my channel, as well as leave your Instagram handle there and follow me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram details in the description box, as well as links to these chains, as well as to the magnet that did work today. That's important. You need to get one that works, and you need to be very careful with it. Hope you all are having a fabulous rest of your weekend, and I will see you again real soon. Bye.